Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today, no paladin, no problem, as WeS.Hearttt playing as the Berbers in blue prepares to take on MbL playing as the Chinese in red. Now while the players heard their herdables explore their immediate, oh my god, surroundings, that +7 line of sight on the Chinese town centers is absolutely ridiculous. And while they explore their immediate surroundings, try to get their butts up to Feudal Age, not a bad time for us to take a look at the Civ matchup. Sorry for that very brief interruption of fanboying over some line of sight. Let's take a look at the Civ matchup we are going to be watching today. The Berbers are a Civ that pushes their players into the 4 welcoming legs of cavalry. All Berber stable units are 15% cheaper in Castle Age and then 20% cheaper in Imperial Age, which makes their Hussars super duper trash units. Now their camel units can be upgraded to regenerate HP and their castles can be upgraded to work faster, both of which strongly benefit their first unique unit, the Camel Archer. This is a mounted archer unit with a good amount of HP, great speed, and an attack bonus against cavalry archers. Now, starting in the Castle Age, the Berbers can also train a second, also mounted unique unit, the Janitor. Think of this as a mounted skirmisher that comes with more HP, a little bit less range, and does cost a bit more food because you got to pay to feed the horse. Now, in order to get your economy up and running as fast as possible, Berber villagers currently in the Dark Age move 5% faster than normal. Come on, stubborn Rhino. Needed a little bit of ass play there. Needed 2 pokes to come a-chasing. Take a look, 0.84 tiles per second compared to the usual 0.8. And then once you hit feudal, Berber villagers do move 10% faster than normal. By the way, that line of sight, tell me that's not a fantastic feature of the Chinese. Speaking of, a very well-rounded civilization whose economic bonuses, strong tech trees mean a player has a lot of options on how to crush his or her enemies. To start with, all technologies for the Chinese get progressively cheaper in Feudal Age, all the way up to 15% cheaper in Imperial, which means you can tech switch from one branch of the military to the other. This Rhino a little bit less stubborn. Their farms seed with 10% more food. Their town centers support 15 population space instead of the usual 5, which is why you won't see a single house. I don't see a single house here for our Chinese in red. Pardon me. There it is. I was right as I said a single house. I looked up and I saw the 20 and I realized no, it's not just 15. There's an extra 5 here somewhere. In any event, their town centers, like I said, support 15 population space instead of the usual 5 that a TC. And as I mentioned many times already, 4 minutes into the game, come with +7 line of sight in each direction, which means you should be able to see a good number of your starting resources right from the very get-go, allows you to better focus your scouting. Now, you do hit the ground running as the Chinese with 3 extra villagers, but like everything in this game, it comes with a cost. In this particular case, 200 less food, 50 less wood. That'll help defend the Chinese economy and settlement against rains. All of their walls, their towers can be upgraded to get 30% more HP, and the extra line of sight on your TC that I'm now mentioning for a 9th time in 5.5 minutes means you see an enemy coming from a mile away, can garrison, can protect your villagers. Now, on the field of battle militarily, the Chinese can field all top-of-the-line infantry units, although without the supplies upgrade, be prepared to pay a little bit extra for your champions. Their foot archers, their skirmishers are also quite strong, especially if you mix in some of their unique unit, the Chukanu. This is a foot archer that fires multiple arrows that can be upgraded to get an even bigger +2 attack. Now, while their cavalry is pretty good, Chinese siege, in my opinion, can be very problematic to fight since their scorpions can be upgraded to get a massive +4 attack boost. And by the way, all scorpions in the game now, not just the Romans, do benefit from ballistics, which makes the rocketry upgrade even more enticing. The lure of that +4 attack when you can have ballistics and track your opponent down, bolt them in the back of the head, and kill them. Ooh, let's hope we get to see some scorpion play. So those are the 2 civilizations we've got before us. Let's take a look at the attack path between the 2 bases as WeS.Hearttt is already heading out. By the way, I've mentioned this about Survivalist and the Bloodless, and every time I do, I mention WeS.Hearttt and MbL. Super happy that these 2 players are playing against one another on the ranked ladder again. They used to do so very frequently when they were both in the Aftermath clan many moons ago. I guess they were practicing. Now they just run into one another here and there, and I am here for it 99 times out of 100. Their games are pretty fun, pretty exciting. It looks like it might be MbL who actually discovers his opponent's base first. Not too sure even where Heartt Scout is at the moment. There he is, appearing, popping out of the ether. And he discovers the red house. MbL sees the primary stone, but doesn't see. Oh, and he goes in the wrong direction. Okay. So to be fair, Heartt also went in the wrong direction, a little bit north, saw a relic and some stone, turned around. Let's see what the players' bases look like. We saw, pardon me, Heartt's primary stone off to the kind of side of the base. The attack path between them, by the way, I completely forgot to look at. Very hilly in the center with one forest, a relic in the center. Secondary stone for our Berber, very exposed to the front, as is a secondary gold. Tertiary gold and primary gold. A little bit safe. I mean, this is not super duper safe, but with all these forests here, not terribly hard to wall that off. Or if Heartt wanted to do a little bit of a risk-averse move, he can go for the gold in the back first, although I suspect he's probably going to go for the gold that's much closer to him, as MbL already runs into here. Careful, careful. You don't want to take a poke. Both players, by the way, already running into each other's bases. Let's take a look at MbL. Both primary resources nice and secure to the back. Extra gold up top, extra gold to the rear, and secondary stone very forward. So both of them have their secondary stone piles exposed in the front. Heartt also has extra gold exposed to the front, but on the whole, MbL's resources located much better. Let's take a look at forests. He's already walled off the western portion of his base. Ooh, careful, careful. There's a villager out there. MbL knows. No. I was going to say MbL knows, and then he's going to send a spearman to defend that villager. Okay, he is sending a spearman to defend that villager. Ooh, a little bit of action here. Look at that. Synchronized attack. Literally a four-way gangbang happening here on top of the hill. And never mind. Right as I say that, I scare off with my perverted comments. I scare away the players who stop tinkling away at each other. I feel like Heartt's forests are in a bit of a better shape, but it doesn't really matter. He's walled off the forward portion of his base. MbL has walled off the forward portion of his base. Both the players have pretty much open north sides of their base, and it looks like our Berber, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna discover this wall off? Generally, the pro players don't like to dive bomb into a single spearman with only 3 scouts. Generally, they like to wait till they have 4 scouts so that they can kill the spearman before he can get at least... Ooh, well, he'll get always at least 1 attack if you, engage him in battle. But the name of the game is try to get him before he gets a second attack. Spearman, 3-second delay between attacks means that the almost twice as fast attacking, 33% faster attacking scout does have an advantage in terms of attack speed. And Heartt gets the first kill of the game. MbL, who presciently sent the spearman. Unfortunately, that spearman was out of position, and we've got yet another continuation. And Heartt gets a second kill. Was he going after villagers? Yeah, it looked like he was going after this gold miner. Let's see it. Now it's a 2-for-1. And red looks like he's going to lose a 3rd unit. Oh, no. So, Heartt secure at home. Now he's got not 3, not 4, not 5. Pardon me, not 4, not... Oh, my goodness. Sometimes I get so excited, I get so ahead of myself. Not 3, not 4, but 5 scouts. They pounce on the spearman, and now the kill count is 4-1. Heartt hasn't suffered a single loss just yet, but this is quite an army chasing him around the rear of MbL's base. MbL, by the way, is starting to wall off the south as well. Although, where's the villager? There he is behind the house's bamboo stock. Behind this, what is our Berber sending forward? A few more foot units. Some bipedal action moving this way, and all of a sudden losing 2 scouts to 1. But not the end of the world. Oh, he does not want the Berber to exit this base alive. And so triple gate, but oh no! Oh, in his excitement, he forgot to wall off that one little tiny tile. And as we all know, little tiny tiles can have significant impacts in this game. It's still, by the way, not walled off. 2 more scouts die for nothing. Why do I feel like these blue scouts are moving so lightning fast? Neither one of them has husbandry. Okay. Blue spearman dies immediately. That was quick. He must have been one of the veterans from the orgy atop the hill here. And so, you know, after that kind of physical exertion, generally you don't have a lot of stamina left. I speak, of course, from no experience besides your average high school toilet humor. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Heart, base shape, kind of looks like a sock puppet. MbL, for his part, has carved out quite a chunk of the map for himself. And like I said, primary stone gold and secondary gold all secure to the back, as is a forest, as are 2 forests. So this wall off by the Chinese is going to enclose a good amount of resources, whereas it looks like our Berber has left his primary stone outside. Does manage to get a few more kills, only has some gold, and there's not a single forest here that is not exposed or at risk. Maybe this one, because it seems kind of thick and juicy. These other ones are kind of thin. I was gonna say exposed to archer, potential archer fire. How many archers are we working with here? 4 archers, 3 scouts, and now a little tiny tile gets deleted for our Berber so that he himself can get some units out. Let the spearmen leave their post. Will MbL try to rush into this base, get a little bit of scouting? For now, he's just taking a fight here. He has a reinforcing unit heading over a scout. So he's going to have a full health scout and a basically dead scout. Basically dead scout, I'm assuming, is now going to go out on relic duty to the parts of the map that our Chinese has not explored yet. Heart is in Castle Age. Our Chinese is still a minute away. And now 15% cheaper knights are coming out. And remember, unlike, for example, Schlachter privileges, which applies only to the gold cost, for the Berbers, it's 15% of everything. The food, the gold, all of it. And so it is a massive, massive, you know, 15% doesn't sound like a lot on paper, doesn't really look like a lot. But when you start getting into the army counts of 10, 15, 20, and you start saving hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of resources, and you can invest those resources either in more units or even better upgrades, then it's going to be very noticeable. Right now, with 1 unit to 1, not the most noticeable thing in the world. Especially, he still doesn't have husbandry, our Berber. And so he is not going to catch up to that scout anytime soon. Unless the scout decides to stop for a cigarette. Then he'll be able to kill it. But for now, okay, for now, not much happening on either side of the map. As this knight scouts, hoping to find a tiny tile where he can insert himself into the Chinese base. The merry-go-round continues. Round and round they go. When will they stop? Who the hell knows? For now, MbL getting fantastic scouting. Very cocky second town center out of our Berber. I mean, he has to, right? When you've sock puppeted yourself in this much into such a constrained little space, you have to go off campus in order to expand your settlement and economy. Oh, did I hear the knight get a 2 accent? Okay, okay. MbL, careful. I mean, this scout's gonna die, right? He's just so freaking annoying. So freaking annoying. No, I missed the death of a camel. And by looking at the death of the camel that I missed the death of the scout. Oh my goodness. We'll have seen both in picture, but we've got camels, we've got ballistics and crossbowmen coming for the Chinese. Army counts 16 to 14 in favor of our Chinese in red, but our Berber in blue has a 1 villager lead. MbL securing the rear position, the gold pile, and plenty of space for farmland with a second TC himself. Bit of a middle-of-the-road siege workshop here for MbL, which gets revealed immediately to the Berber, who sees it with his expeditionary force here. Knights and skirmishers against crossbowmen and camels. Who will run away first? It looks like Heart also got the constructing villager as she melts into the sand. And so a good get there. MbL's gonna have to send a replacement villager. Every time a villager builds something, and then in the process of building something, it dies. Man, it reminds me of that movie. What was it called? Moon? With, oh God. I never remember the actor's name. Who is the actor Sam Harris? The one who's always dancing in his movies. By the way, is this the super weak scout from before? Yes, it is. 3 kills. So this is a hero scout who's been sent out on scouting duty. There's that movie Moon where, I think it's called Moon, where he's like, he lives in a space station or something, or lives on the moon, I guess. And every so often he gets replaced by a clone of himself. And that's what it always reminds me of. Don't try to make sense of my references, my warped, bizarre ramblings. By the way, speaking of versatility of the Chinese army, knights, camels, crossbowmen, a mangonel, a single spearman who is still on patrol duty, a 30C going up for Heartt, also off campus here to the north. Gotta be careful not to injure your own units. Our Chinese is ahead in army count. He's building a monastery in the very forward position. Not a bad idea. Try to deter some knight play out of your opponent. But if this house falls, the base can be entered. That being said, a bit of a stalemate, a bit of a standoff at the moment. Neither player really wanting to engage. Our Berber has not researched redemption, which means these mangonels are going to have free range up until counter mangonels pop out. By the way, counter mangonels on the high ground. So Heartt in a better position here, but he is outnumbered 3-1. Let's see how his mango micro is. Okay, takes 2 volleys to the face. 2 villagers immediately come out to repair. More and more Chinese units are streaming across the map. Both players keeping a pace. MbL's ahead 2 army count. Heartt is ahead 2 villagers. MbL is housed. I thought we dealt with this already, MbL. I thought we already had this figured out. Oh, it took 3 to kill 1, but dead he is. 3rd TC going up again inside this giant settlement that our Chinese player has carved for himself. Skirmisher's gonna risk it for the biscuit. They get 1 volley, but they're not that strong. In fact, never mind. They're going after the repairing villagers. 1 unlucky bastard does die. But now all of a sudden, I don't think there's any more villagers in the forward position. No, there are not. So mangonels can't be repaired. Defender's advantage here for Heartt, who himself is starting to train camels. Now, unless we see a castle out of our Berber, and unless we see Maghrebi camels being researched from that castle, that is the upgrade that allows the camels to regenerate at a rate of 15 HP per minute, I should point out. The camels for both of these players should be exactly identical in terms of unit per unit. Obviously, again, the Berber camel is 15% cheaper at the moment. And Heartt pounces on this army, guns down all the monks. 1 mango left. It gets balled to death. But there's still a good amount of crossbows here to the north. They are retreating, though. They do not want to take Heartt's mangonel shot to the face. And all of a sudden, our Chinese army melts into the sand. A single knight tries to distract this army from chasing. He does so, pays for it with his life. No, it's not a relic in here. It is a monk. And what the hell is MbL doing? Training 5 monks in a forward monastery. Does he think he can reclaim this land? Is there a reconquista being planned here? For now, absolutely nothing. He is training 2 mangonels out of here, 5 monks out of here, behind enemy lines, and absolutely nothing at home except for 3 camels. Heartt sensing something. There's no pressure here. He's not feeling any resistance. Brings his villagers. Unfortunately, he hasn't had villagers on stone ever this game. And so no castle drop from our Berber. So what the hell are those villagers there for? Maybe to repair the mangonel? Do you really need 3 villagers? Whereas it looks like MbL has 9 villagers on stone. So he's going to be able to get up a castle at some point. Whether or not that means we see Chukanus, who knows? Hopefully the answer is yes. Lion joins in on the fight here on the right side. Camels surround. Might want to delete your own house to get a better surround here. Doesn't really matter. The villager ends up dead. By the way, Heartt has killed 8 villagers to the 0 that MbL has killed. He has +2 armor on his knights, which means they're going to be very good at taking crossbow bolts, even with Bodkin. Okay, MbL's going to hold here. This is a choke point. +9 attack bonus from camels against cavalry. And he's got defender's advantage literally in the face of his opponent. Camels are popping out, and he holds. 3 villagers confused, don't know why. Why were we brought here? Why did you take me from the comfort of my gold mine? I left my family for this, and now I'm just hanging around doing nothing. 2 mangonels. Oh my god, he's still trading those monks. And the mangonels pop out, gun down the skirmishers. Camel versus camel violence. Remember, camels, again, do come with an attack bonus against other camels, +5. I'm not sure what happened there. Did he convert a skirmisher and then right as he got the convert, the mangonel fired and killed that skirmisher? Another conversion, but 2 monks are dead. And for the second time, our Chinese reclaims. I guess it wouldn't be the second time if he reclaims it, right? For the first time, he reclaims it. For the second time, he claims this piece of real estate right in front of the Berber base. By the way, our Berber is ahead 15 villagers. MbL is housed yet again. Why does he keep getting housed? I see a couple of little dots on his side of the map. I also see a castle being built for our Chinese in a very, very safe location. By the way, did I see a cavalry archer? Okay. There you go. Welcome to the Chinese with their 10% cheaper techs. And by the way, MbL heading up to Imperial, 15% cheaper technologies in Imperial Age. And now he's starting to get villager kills. All of a sudden takes a vill kill lead. And with so many monks constantly non-stop healing, they don't need to be Byzantine healing twice as fast. There are so freaking many of them. And he's going up to 11 camel riders. Why did he add a single cavalry archer? I don't know. There's 6 Chukanus en route. Not too sure where they are. MbL, by the way, has 14 villagers on stone. Heart has 16. So, what the hell? Castle going up to the north. Ooh, monks disperse their sniper lines. But Heart runs away. Tell me. Heart has husbandry. Heart has husbandry. Triple H. As he besieges this part of the map. Lion tried to take down a constructing villager. Failed. Miserably died. This house is still up. Chukanus are finally moving forward. But the run-bys begin. 9. Basically full health. Maybe 85% health. Knights are heading to the other side of the map. We'll see what kind of damage they can get done. Oh, Quarry is about to get... Oh, he sacrifices his villagers. They can't fight back right now. They're carrying giant rocks. That was pretty bad. That was pretty... Not to go all Larry David on you, but that was pretty bad. In the meantime, we'll see if anything is happening in the front of Heart's base, but for a second time, camels clean up. A castle is up as well. Mango fires, misses, and dies. Oh, to be a mangonel. How many villagers are here? Just 1 villager. MbL has 30 villagers on stone. What the hell? 30 villagers on stone. Not a single forward castle. He's an Imperial. And in one of the few rare instances, he is not training a trebuchet. Look at this army. Now, the Chinese do have arbalesters. They do have heavy camels. Do have heavy cavalry archers. What direction will our Chinese player go? For now, adding another TC to the south. Is this really the first time he's building a market? Damn, MbL. 42 minutes without a market. That's skill right there. I mean, the market is such an equalizing structure. You can rebalance your economy if you've gone a little bit too much on one resource or another. You can catch up to your opponent. You can overtake your opponent. You can surprise your opponent. Another not so aggressive castle out of our Chinese player. But block printing, chemistry, gold shaft mining as well. So these monks, line of sight's going to improve. Range is going to improve to 12. Do we have redemption? No, we don't have redemption yet, or at all. To be fair, he just still has one monk. Here in the middle, healing. But what can one monk do against 7? Did the Chinese get theocracy? Yes, they do. Okay, you might want to get theocracy if you've got 7 freaking monks. Heavy camels. Bracer for our Berber. Are we gonna get to see a big camel war? Ooh, camel archers as well. What a cool unit. Did he see a single cavalry archer and train that camel archer just in case? That's pretty cool. And even onager being gotten for our Chinese. Also, a lot of similarities, I should point out, between these two civilizations in terms of, like I said in the beginning, no paladins for either civilization, no siege onagers for either civilization. I think there's some no Parthian tactics, I believe, also for either civilization. No Gambesons as well. Where are you? There you are. For either civilization. A lot of little similarities. Those of you who have watched the channel before know how much I love to look at these things on paper and see and compare the civilizations and see what's what and who has what and who doesn't have what. Heart making no effort to repair that castle. He figures with his 530 stone, he might as well just build a new one, but he can't really mine stone at the moment as the Chinese army is very close here. Somehow these heavy camel riders have been tethered to the monk, so they move slow as molasses in January. Skirmishers are exposed. Cavalry archer on the high ground firing. I can't imagine he's going to stay alive much longer. Right as I say that, he dies. Okay, good. Oh, the Chucanoos. The Chucanoos are running amok, but here we go. Camel battle. Well, bit of a short camel battle, as the name of the game here for Heart seems to have been get the onagers. Army counts very similar. Villager population basically identical. Looks like that one Berber house is finally getting attacked by a single crossbowman. Okay. Only forging in 1 second iron casting for our Berber. Our Chinese also just has forging. Chucanoos move out. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Ooh, now one thing the Berbers have that the Chinese don't. Bombard cannons. Chinese notoriously and infamously and confusingly lacking gunpowder. Both onagers fall. We saw this in yesterday's game with the Viper. I mean, we didn't see this, a Chucano getting shot and killed and stabbed and gutted by villagers, but we saw bombard cannons absolutely wrecking onager populations, culling them as if they were wild animals that needed to be controlled. 3 trebs out for our Chinese, who built a few onagers and says, you know what, I'm gonna tech back into camels. I don't really see the need anymore. FYI, MbL still has 12 villagers on stone. Camel tries to intercept. Camel pays the price. In 14 seconds, these are going to be elite Chucanoos, so might want to save them. A few of them do end up dying. Another battle here. It looks like MbL has the high ground, but not the numbers. And so he's going to have to retreat. That was a sour loss there for our Chinese player. The last thing you want to be doing against a civilization that can train the same unit cheaper is lose units. And he just lost what looks like 10 to 12 camels right there. He is replacing them, replacing them 3 at a time. He's also adding more Chucanoos. And now he's going after yet another castle. This one looks like it might be on the high ground, though, so a bit of a tougher nut to chew. Crossbowman does bite the dust. Why is our Chinese player not upgrading his crossbowman? Am I wrong? Do they not? They get arbalesters, yeah. And they get arbalesters for cheaper. I mean, everyone gets arbalesters for cheaper now, but the Chinese get it for even cheaper than cheaper. So many camels, 31 Berbers, 27 Chinese. Upgrades, identical. Nobody's got blast furnace. Looks like a bit of a light cavalry run by to the right, distracting MbL's reinforcements. And this, a much better engagement for our Chinese right now. He has the high ground. He's got a castle. He's got, again, 6 monks. He's got a villager for good luck. That being said, slowly, it looks like Heartt. Actually, MbL could have probably continued. Actually, no, he couldn't, because Heartt would run away into the safety of the castle. And so both players getting a bit of a bloody nose, disengage. And Chukanus are starting to wreck the villager population. MbL's killed 60 villagers to the 29 of his opponent. Castle is down. Town center is the next target. This high ground castle, is it on the high ground compared to the Treb? Or are they on the same elevation? Man, sometimes it's really hard to see. But the Chukanus are the real story here. 5 more villager kills since we last checked up on these multiple arrow firing badasses. Ooh, does he know about this lumberjacking operation? He doesn't. If Red knew about that, ooh, you best believe he would probably be sending his Chukanus up north. Players continuing to tiptoe around each other. Okay, now he might see. He sees the villagers escaping. Will Heartt accidentally lead MbL to the juiciest target of all? He might. There is a massive exodus of Berber villagers here, as nothing continues to occur here in the center bottom of the map. Oh my god, even more. He's up to 80 villager kills. Heartt is 1 villager away from being in double digits, and no! He discovers this, and he's gonna see the move out here as well with this 1 Chukanu. Oh, he is not like you. He is an enemy unit. Looks like the bombard cannon did get God, but castle falls. And Red overwhelms and swarms over this Berber army. And that's it. Wow. What a fun game. I mean, what the hell didn't we see out of the Chinese except for the one thing I wanted to see, which was scorpions with rocketry and ballistics. Well, I guess we got to see a third of that with ballistics. Didn't really get to see. Oh, no, we did see rocketry. By the way, with rocketry, if you're not familiar, not only does it add +4 attack to scorpions. Yeah, I know. I think I know how to pronounce that word, scorpions. It also adds a +2 attack to Chukanus. Look at their attack. 14 attack on an archer. You know, it doesn't sound high, 14, when you consider knights. I mean, it's still higher than a camel. This archer unit attacks more than a camel. 14 attack is a ridiculous. A knight with blast furnace, basically, or a cavalier with iron casting, or a virgin naked paladin. This is the Chukanu. And that's the first arrow, and then it adds multiple arrows after that that also do melee damage so that they kill rams. But wow, at the end of the day, army count just overwhelming here for our Chinese, and Heartt suffers a double whammy. First, his villager population and his economy absolutely gutted. Pardon me, I'm still coughing a little bit. Absolutely gutted. And number 2, the 1-2 punch, the number 2 of that punch combo, he loses his army. Look at all the dead camels. What a beautiful last fight. I would have loved to see it go all the way to the end. I would have loved to see all the slaughter happening. Unfortunately, Heartt realizes there's no way he can win this. What even is his army right now? A few remaining camels, some light cavalry, and skirmishers are going to do nothing against 28 heavy camels and a treacherous camel archer who was converted. By the way, he did manage to kill the monk population nicely, did Heartt. And like I said, 99 times out of 100, you see such a fun game between these two players. Let's take a look at the stats. Skirmishers, double the amount of skirmishers to crossbowmen, 115 camels to 82. Did he get McGrebby? No, he didn't get McGrebby camels. Ah, that's unfortunate. Maybe that could have helped. Maybe that could have helped when he was down. 30 camels, 33 camels. Wow. 34 Chukanus, 41 knights. Interesting. Peak APM right at the beginning of the game, peak APM towards the middle of the game. What are their economies? It can't be that dissimilar, right? Yeah, look, if you remove the relic gold from MbL's pocket change, they actually have the exact same economy. Literally, like 100 resources difference. This is why I love these two players. 5,000 extra gold, 3,000 extra stone, but the trash resources going to our Berber. 18 conversions to 2. Wow. 24 raisings to 2. So MbL just ahead in all metrics except the economy. No, pardon me, the economy as well. I was thinking if you remove this, he's actually down. But you can't really pull that kind of shit. And so with that relic gold, he is still ahead economically. He's ahead about 110 kill and on about exactly 110 kills. And he's got exactly triple the villager kills with 95 to 32. And for the longest time, Heartt had 8 kills to 0 when it came to villagers. But the Chukanu slam to the left, Heartt did not have enough to combat both, it seems like. I mean, he could have gone hussars, maybe. He could have gone light cavalry. But again, light cavalry against Chukanus, even that is not a easy fight. Even 6 armor is not going to help that much against that 14 attack, plus the extra arrows that do a little bit more damage. But wow, what a fun game of positioning. And we got to see the versatility, as always, nice to see on the Chinese army. And more nice to see are the freaking Chukanus. You love to see this unit elite with rocketry. And like I said, the one thing I'm missing here is the Scorpion, but that's okay. Maybe next time we'll see it. Now that they all get ballistics, I'm always antsy in the pantsy to see that unit in action. And unfortunately, didn't get to see it in this game, but didn't need to see it because who the hell doesn't love to see camel versus camel? Unfortunately, the discount that the Berber got was no match for the map control that our Chinese player took. He is literally thiefing gold on the doorstep, thiefing stone from his opponent's base, and maybe it had to do with the original sock puppet shape that Heartt took versus the much more all-encompassing base that MbL established for himself. Maybe it had to do with not so much rating on the part of Heartt after he got those initial kills, but Heartt was doing fantastic in the early game, and then MbL just ramped up the aggression, ramped up the pressure, kept taking control of this primary area here right in front of the Berber base. And with that control, with the map domination, I mean, look at the mini map. He's just everywhere. And with the scarce resource getting, I think he got both gold and stone in a huge way. Not like 1,000 more. This is like 5,000 more, and basically 4 or 5 castles worth of stone more than his opponent. It is MbL who, with the versatility of the Chinese army, takes the W, slaughters the camel-to-camel action against his opponent, and takes the W. But GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.